Welcome back, everybody. We've got a special episode going on for you. We are celebrating Halloween this week.
Spooky
Season, spelled the correct way, not the stupid SZN crap that I've seen all over social media. Hate it.
It's fine.
It's just a personal vendetta of mine. How you guys doing this week?
Good, man. It's weird sitting like this. We're all nice and cozy.
I know. Usually we're around the table, but we wanted to do something special for Halloween, spooky season.
Hell yeah, dude.
So this is our first recorded episode. Whether this becomes a regular thing, we will see.
I don't know.
That's up to you guys.
I guess it depends on how well this does. Yeah, my week was good. I'm excited for Halloween.
Yeah.
Our costume this year is going to be pretty dope.
Nice.
We're doing a Carol Baskin and the Tiger King himself,
Mr.
Joe Exotic.
Who's Joe Exotic? Is that you or is that
yes,
Kirsten?
I'm Joe Exotic, and she is going to be Carol Baskin, and our little puppy dog is going to be a tiger, which is going to be fun.
Nice.
No, that's adorable.
We like to do themed ones that kind of speak to the year,
Yeah.
So last year we went as Area 51. So
nice.
I went as a Naruto runner, had the orange pants and the headband, and my wife went as an alien. So she was all in green, and
You could have dressed up this year as just a steaming pile of poop.
That
would have been fitting.
Yeah.
I honestly thought about doing a last minute change and dressing up as the dog face 420 guy.
Oh, yeah.
Just
yes.
cranberry juice, white shirt, and a
Shave your
longboard.
head.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
I can
would
do
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'd be a good costume.
Halloween's going to be weird this
Easy.
year.
Yeah, it's going to be different. I mean, when you guys are hearing this, I'll be, held up in my garage carving pumpkins for hours and hours and hours.
Yep.
So
What a ritual.
We'll get to that though, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Nothing will change for you, but
You know what,
think of the
let's-
kids, man.
Let's start there.
You want to go into
Let's
that?
hop
All
in.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to bring us our first topic, and that is your favorite Halloween traditions. And I'll go ahead and just start us off because we kind of alluded to it a little bit. But my family has gotten really into pumpkin carving.
Mm-hmm.
I think last year we did something close to 30 pumpkins. And I just love it. It's something growing up I didn't love carving pumpkins all that much. I hated the smell of it. But the older I've gotten and the more intricate our patterns become, it's a lot of fun. I did one last year, and I might throw this either on the Discord or up on social media or something. But I did a Iron Man one that took me about 7 hours to do on one pumpkin.
Impressive.
And so it's a lot of fun, and we just picked it up. It started with my cousins down in St. George. They used to do close to 200 pumpkins a year, and then we kind of adopted it and just kind of went with it, and I love it. I typically do anywhere between 7 to 12 pumpkins a year.
I mean, we even have a fun time with that. We'll all
We usually
come to
go
your
over
garage.
there for
Yeah.
a night,
Yeah,
and
I'll usually just
stuff.
do a pumpkin,
Yeah.
if
but
that.
it's a week long
yeah,
expedition for the Roger household.
yep. It's a lot of fun. I very much enjoy it. It gets stressful when you look at, I still have 3 pumpkins to do and Halloween's tomorrow, but we usually start about a week and a half before Halloween, so we'll probably start here. I mean, as recording this here this week, we got to get some pumpkins and I'll start carving and getting patterns on and going crazy. So
Zach, this is a video. So
Yeah.
pick your 3 favorites and I'll put them on screen.
Yeah, because we have photos of all your
we
past
do.
stuff.
Yeah,
that
I've
we
got
did.
all my photos. I'm gonna pick 3 that I've carved.
Well, yeah, yours.
So I think the first one has got to be the Iron Man one I talked about.
Bob, there it is. Look at that. Wow, technology.
JPEG.
The problem is I've carved so many in the last few years that I don't remember where they fall. But there's a Mickey Mouse one out there that I really, really like.
Picture.
How's your elbow?
No, I'm good.
Picture.
And then
Is that the one with Walt holding his hand, the statue
No,
one?
that one's really cool though. That one's a fairly simple
Because I
one.
like that
Picture.
one. I did. Picture, bang!
I don't know if we'll do that one, but
Picture.
and then the last one, I don't know.
It's probably mine, right?
yours was the Mandalorian patch, wasn't it?
I think so.
I think you did that one.
I can't remember.
I don't know. The one that's coming to mind right now is the Hatbox Ghost from the Haunted Mansion. And that one was also fairly intricate and took a minute. But I don't know. Maybe we'll just throw up a few of the patterns instead of just, the ones I highlighted.
I'll just do one of your Flamey Boys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I forgot to mention that. Every year we do a kerosene pumpkin. So we soak toilet paper rolls in kerosene and put them in a really big pumpkin, and the flames get up to like 3 feet. And they go crazy. So last year, I think we did Hades. When Hades gets all mad in Hercules. In years past, we've done Ghost Rider. I think this year we might do it either a dragon or a phoenix or something. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have never been one to carve pumpkins or get into carving pumpkins. And I think that your house was the first time that I ever took carving a pumpkin seriously.
Yeah.
And it was still a fairly simple one. It was like the Zelda logo. And not that hard, but doing it with the tracing and stuff, I was like, okay, I get it. I still probably won't go nearly as intricate as you guys do.
I mean, I don't blame you. It takes a special kind of crazy to start.
I don't have the patience for it.
Yeah.
Steve, what about you? What are your favorite Halloween traditions?
My family doesn't really have any like big Halloween traditions. My Halloween tradition is coming to your house for Halloween parties and such.
That's true.
That's about it. Like,
yeah.
I was going to say the same thing.
Which with COVID, I mean, I don't know. We kind of limit our social circles to pretty much each other. This is pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know how big of a thing I'm going to have. It'll probably just be something small, just with like you guys.
Yeah, because that's become our own tradition among all of us as friends. Is we all gather at Troy's place usually and play scary games together on the couch or watch a movie. Or
I need to muster up the courage to finish Resident Evil 2, even though that game, like, I've played through a couple scary games at this point. Let's see. We've played through Amnesia. We played through
Until Dawn.
We played through.
Really quick, I'm going to specify my Halloween tradition is all of us running through and beating PT every Halloween.
Yes.
Night. So,
you don't know what PT is. It doesn't really exist. You can't find it anymore unless it's already downloaded on your system, because like legal stuff happened with the company that made the game.
PT stood for playable trailer, and it was a playable trailer for the new Silent Hills game.
It's basically everything perfect about a horror video game.
This is the scariest game I've ever played, and it's also like one of the shortest.
I mean, I want to be honest. I have never played any of these games with you because I don't do horror.
Yeah.
So,
I really want you to see that though, man.
Yeah, I can't do the horror stuff, man. It gets to me. So, I mean, suspense is one thing, but horror, I don't know. Not into it.
But to get PT back on, I deleted the game. Me and Steve played through it and beat it when it first came out. And then we beat it and we're like, okay, I'm never playing this game again. And even if I want to re-download it, it's in my library at this point. So who cares? So I deleted it. Shortly after, there was the disagreements, the big fallout between Konami and Kojima, and the demo was taken off of the store, and you couldn't download it. So I had to connect my PlayStation to. I essentially made my computer a server that I connected my PlayStation to. That made my PlayStation think that it was like an older version of the marketplace where I could download it.
Oh, nice.
But I have it, and now I have it forever. So if I tried to sell my PlayStation, I could probably sell it for more because I have
absolutely.
PT.
It's rare.
That's cool.
And we like to bask in that rarity.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, that's my tradition as well, is just hanging out with you guys on Halloween. My family doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
We don't do anything.
My main tradition, it kind of bleeds into Zach's second topic. But me and my dad, every year, we always watch Young Frankenstein together.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a great show.
It's just a tradition that me and my dad have.
Yeah.
And it's,
Nice.
Anyways, let's move on to one of your guys's.
I don't even know whose it is.
Yeah, I'll give one. Want to know you guys' favorite Halloween sweets, whether that be candy or like caramel apples, or what's your favorite thing? Say you were trick or treating, what's like the candy you want?
Does this have to be something that we've actually like gotten at the door?
No, not at all.
Okay. Filet mignon steak.
I would like steak placed into my
Yo,
bag.
we
please.
had that like 3 nights ago, man. Come on.
Yeah. Honestly, like I'm thinking like what candy speaks Halloween to me and like is Halloween to me. I honestly keep coming back to those caramel apple lollipops.
Oh my!
Yeah,
like
those are
I
classic.
never get those.
Yep.
I never have gotten those anywhere else other than by trick or treating. And then like
I don't even know if they sell those
You
at
can get
other
them at
points of the
Smith's,
year.
dog. I almost bought some the other day.
No, but like in other times of the year, like
Oh,
are
you
those
can.
strictly a Halloween thing?
No, you can get them all the time.
But yeah,
like,
I never
it
get
screams
them.
Halloween, right?
Oh,
I
yes.
never get them except for Halloween, and
Yeah.
I feel like I always got it in my Halloween stash, and I always loved them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were always a treat.
What screams Halloween to me is Kit Kats and popcorn balls,
Okay.
because Kit Kats were the thing. You know how you go to someone's door when you're trick or treating and they give you a bowl to choose from?
Oh yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
always picked Kit Kats if they were there.
Oh, really?
Or Nerds.
Okay.
Come on. But I remember eating Kit Kats until I was sick. And then I would
Yeah.
still have a load of Kit Kats left, and I would keep eating them because
Yeah.
they're so good.
Right on.
And then popcorn balls is like the Halloween treat. It's just, I don't know, there's something about them. They're just covered in sugar and they're just popcorn. You know the little ones that came in the little black bag that had like the jack-o'-lantern face
Oh,
on
yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
Those specifically.
Nice.
Yeah.
For me, it's the 100 grand bar.
Really?
It's same thing with like the suckers, the green apple suckers. Like I feel like I only ever got 100 grand at Halloween, like when I was
Yeah.
trick or treating,
Yeah.
and so that one was like, oh yeah. But my favorite candy bar, like of all time, like normal candy bar, is Pause.
Minor technical difficulty. We're back now.
Yeah, we're
What's up,
back.
fam?
So continuing thought, I was on my favorite candy bar like ever is a Twix. And
Yes.
anytime I got a Twix, anytime I got a full size Twix in a Halloween trick or treating, like anything like that, I was just ecstatic.
Bro,
So,
we all knew where the good houses were.
Oh, yeah.
That always had the big
Yup.
Halloween candy.
yep.
And for my neighborhood, it was a house that was right next to the church that was like in our neighborhood. And they always gave out those king
Nice.
size
Yep.
candy bars, but they always ran out like real quick.
Yeah.
So like you
It'd go
had to
quick,
be
yeah.
there fast. But yeah,
Yeah,
good
but-
times.
What about you, Steve? What's your favorite sweet?
So, Three Musketeers. That nougat is amazing. Nougat is
Nougat.
amazing.
Man.
Tootsie Rolls. Like I don't like them the rest of the year.
Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls. Wait, that's what they're called, right?
I call them Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've
yeah,
only
it's
ever heard
like,
them
hey,
called
what's
Tootsie
up,
Rolls, but
Toots? I think
I-
that's the
I do like.
Wait, how are you guys
Tootsie.
saying it?
Tootsie Roll.
Toots.
You're saying Tootsie Roll. You're so proper about it.
Yes, I fancy a Tootsie. So Tootsie Rolls,
Let me see that Tootsie Roll.
Three Musketeers, and as of recent years, people have been giving out like the Trolley Bright Crawler minis. Those are good.
Have you been
Okay.
trick or treating in recent years,
No,
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Steven?
I shave and I look like I'm 4.
I'm surprised no one mentioned the fun Reese's that are shaped per season. Did they do a Halloween one?
You know, on
They do
Yeah,
bats.
they do
Is it bats?
they're little pumpkins.
Oh,
but
the
I
pumpkins,
like
that's
the
right.
Easter eggs.
also do
or
bats.
the trees more.
I swear.
Okay, I mean,
They also do bats.
I think
they?
the
My coworker
trees
has bats.
are the pinnacle of a Reese's, but like I think that the shaped Reese's in general are just better than
Bro,
a regular
I
Reese's.
don't
There's more
get
peanut
that.
butter.
I don't get that.
Really?
They taste exactly the same. Me and my coworker, she listens to this. I'm
man.
talking to you. She swears that those are better, and they taste exactly the same to me.
Here's the thing: they taste the same. It's a texture thing because the main
the
thing,
ratio.
the main reason I like the peanut butter cups most is because the outer shell is like thicker chocolate, and it's almost like
Yeah, that's
Not
I like those
crunchy,
ones
but-
better.
but
I
but
feel like-
but the shaped ones,
mostly
they're
it's-
just softies.
Yeah.
But mostly it's just for the experience of it actually coming in a cup. That's why I like it more, I feel like. Because
The-
it's like you peel the cup out.
I'm all about easy access when it comes when it comes to the holiday ones. I'm like rip and eat. You know what I mean? With the cups, it's like rip, peel, lick that off because there's only some that sticks, and then you eat it.
The chocolate paper. Yeah, dude.
Also, shout out to those really, really shitty suckers that were like
Oh, yeah.
skull shaped or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Always so crappy.
Yeah.
But they were. You always got them, and they were.
And you
as
always-
a kid, you're like, oh, it's skull. Like
You had them last too. Like you would eat them last because you got through all the good candy, and you're like, well, I guess it's sugar, so I guess I'll eat it.
Yeah,
It was that or freaking Almond Joys. Like
Almond Joy's the worst. Like
So
I was giving
parents
to my
love
mom.
Almond Joys, and so they would just go through my candy bag and like take all the Almond Joys. I was
My
like,
parents
"Thank
would
you."
demand tribute,
Yeah.
so I gave my dad all the Whoppers and my mom all the Almond Joy.
Okay.
So my family, we had a deal where I could either keep all my candy or I could sell half of my candy to them for a video game or a movie.
Oh hell yeah, that's worth it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's dope.
And it was a
It's
way
free
for,
candy anyway.
honestly, great idea because it was
Yeah.
a way for them to limit how much candy I ate.
But also
because
get candy themselves.
I got a ton of candy
Yeah.
from Halloween and stuff. And the other half would go to the family. So they would get
Okay.
like my Halloween candy and it would just go in a stash that everybody could take from. And then it was a good idea.
No,
and
yeah,
then I got
I
a
like
video
that a
game
lot.
out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to just call out the people who gave raisins because screw you. Like, why would you give boxes of raisins to children on Halloween? What kind of monster are you? Like,
I remember I got a
the
can.
absolute worst.
I
Dude.
got a can of soda once in my pillowcase of candy, and somewhere along the line it broke in my bag,
No.
and that kind of ruined my night.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's awful.
That kind of brings me into another topic. Actually, is I wanted to talk about our favorite memories trick or treating specifically.
Okay.
Okay.
So mine actually happened when I was no longer trick or treating, but being able to go out with my nieces and nephews.
Oh yeah,
And seeing kind of their like joy of receiving the candy and like seeing all that. I mean, obviously I don't have kids and I'm nowhere near close to having kids, but like
Ladies.
that's one thing that I'm really excited about, like, is to see them like trick or treating and have fun and do that. Like that, it was such a cool experience. And like I wasn't even their parent. So, and then one for me when I was trick or treating. So, like I said, I don't do horror stuff. Like I don't like scary things. But one of the houses in the neighborhood that gave the good candy, like the big candy, always did like a crazy haunted trail leading up to their door. And I never did it because I was like, I can't do it. Like I'm too scared. Like, and back then I didn't know that, anxiety was a thing. I was just kind of a pansy. But one year, I think it was my last year trick-or-treating, I was like, I gotta get the candy, dude. And so like, I'm like hyping myself up. Like, do I go? Do I not? Like freaking out right into, and then I just charged through and there was like chainsaw dude. And I was like, I hate you. And there was like a dude sitting in a chair that you couldn't see. And like, he would come and grab you. And I was like, I hate you. And I just hated that whole experience, but I got my candy. And so I was proud of myself and never have to do it again.
and
So-
honestly, those big candy bars are always worth it.
Oh yeah.
There's some reason they're just so much better.
Yeah.
I'm kind of cheating because it's memories. My church, we like our ward growing up. It wasn't a trunk or treat. It was like, I don't know what they called it, but essentially
It was sad.
each family was given their own like room in the church building that they could decorate and
Oh, that's
do whatever
fun
they
idea.
wanted with.
That's cool.
And so you went door to door to each classroom
Yeah.
and the lights were off and like some people took, like some families took it really serious and had some cool rooms.
Yeah.
And like they ended up leaving that and going to trunk or treating like when I was like towards the end when I was about done trick or treating. And I just remember being really disappointed. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't as cool. They decorated their trunks, but it didn't have that same
You can do a lot more
experience,
with
you
a
know?
room.
Yeah.
So I miss that, but
That's
like
cool, though.
every year I kind of looked forward to that more than like going door to door, like
Yeah.
to actual houses. Cause it was like, one, it's a lot faster. You get to a lot more rooms and
Yeah.
a lot more candy.
Yeah.
And it's like people that you know and that you're familiar with. But then the rooms were always really cool. So
Yeah.
Dude, you just like sparked a memory in my mind. So my dad used to work at this company. I mean, it's been years, but they would throw like the best holiday parties in general, but they would do a Halloween party. And like they would let the kids of all the associates and everyone come in and like trick or treat throughout the office. And so like they just had a great time. But I remember going from my school Halloween party, which was always great. You know, you had your costume parades and stuff, and then going to trick or treat at my dad's office. So my mom would always take us out of school early, going to trick or treat at dad's office, and then getting home when it was dark, and then just going to trick or treat more. Like, man, we had so much candy.
Dude, it was candy all
It
day
was
long.
awesome, dude. So that hit me, and
Nice.
like as you were talking about like the war thing, I was like, oh yeah. So
Steve, what about you?
So, I mean, it's the same idea. I was going to talk about for kindergarten, I went downtown at a since demolished school called Lowell. But they did the same thing for Halloween. They had their doors were cool because they were the kind that like the top opens without the bottom.
Oh, sweet.
So like literally like they had the hallways and then the teachers would be in their room and then you would go around and trick or treat.
nice.
And then in the gym they had like you know tie the donuts to the pole and you'd have to like bite them off. And then we had like mummy competitions where we would wrap each other in like toilet paper. And I was only like 5 years old, but like I remember that very vividly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like Lowell, you killed it. But
Nice.
Shame you had to get all blown up and stuff.
yeah, it was weird. They demolished it because it was like in the part of the avenues that was like poor. So don't be poor. My other Halloween memory is one of the last years I was trick or treating. Since Zach was always busy doing his thing, I would go and trick or treat with other people. I'm not sure if it was the same house because it was different, but in my neighborhood, someone set up a actual like walk through haunted house, and he killed it. Like
Like actually killed somebody.
Yeah,
Right on the front lawn. It was crazy.
dead bodies. No one caught on.
Decapitated heads. No one figured it out. Like he still lives there.
So front room, there was a guy in a coffin who would pop out and he was a werewolf. It's pretty dope. And then you'd walk into a room where he had set up mirrors on the floor. So all of a sudden it was like you were just on like a catwalk, if you've ever seen that effect.
Oh, yeah.
Like the floor is gone. And I was like, this is in my neighborhood. And it was so sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then the last thing was the owner of the house was like this huge guy. Like I don't know who he is and I haven't seen him since, but he had to be like 7 foot something because he was dressed as Frankenstein and had very limited makeup on. But it was really dope. But
So he
yeah,
sold it.
Yeah, he just looked like Frankenstein.
my favorite memory was being a little
I think you mean Frankenstein's
Yeah,
monster.
monster.
Yeah.
was being a little asshole and going through, and the people I was with, we decided to just go through it like 3 times and start throwing candy at people. And I almost got my bag of candy taken away because Frankenstein, he'd do this thing where he like came down to shake your hand and then he'd twist his wrist so he was like making a vice grip on you.
Oh.
Which was really cool. But like after we were throwing candy at them, I guess word got around. So he like took my candy bag. And I was like, oh, dude, my phone's in there. Like, you can't take my candy bag. And eventually you give it back, and we're like, all right, shit, we got to go. But that's just a good memory.
He palms you by the head.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, we had a couple really cool spots in our neighborhood. I remember we'd hit them every single year. There was one old couple a street over from us. They would always have king-size candy bars,
Mm-hmm.
but you had to answer a riddle that they had for that year.
Oh, cool.
So,
I like that.
you know, it was always like the hot rumor or secret of what the rumor was going to be.
Yeah.
You never really knew, but rumors would always fly around and say, "Oh, it's going to be this." Here's the answer. Here's the answer.
Yeah.
And you always had to get at the door, and they'd ask it, and you're like, "Oh," and then your older sibling or your parents or something would give you the answer, and
So cool.
That's cool. That's
that was really fun. And then there was a family in my neighborhood as well that they would always have a big blow up projector screen, and they'd play Halloween movies on it. And then in their garage, they would be making fresh scones.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Bro,
Dude.
where were these people in my neighborhood? What?
That's
so,
dope.
so we'd always stop by, and there was always a ton of people there because they all knew, and he'd, serve you up some fresh right out of the oil scones and like cider
That is
sometimes, hot chocolate. It was
Dope as
awesome.
hell.
It was great.
Nice.
And you just sit there. It was nice because you could like take a break from trick or treating, sit
Yeah.
down, watch a movie, just chill for a bit, and then get right
That's
back
so
to it.
cool.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Small aside, do you guys remember the year that it was a literal blizzard for Halloween?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do.
Like there was one year where it was like, all right, trick or treating is canceled. And I can assure you that everyone at this table still trick or treated.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I put on an extra pair of
Yeah,
pajama pants.
exactly.
And I was
Yeah,
good.
dude. Stuff that
You
costume.
altered your costume for the weather, and
Yes.
that was the
Layer
struggle
up.
of living in a winter climate state. When it was Halloween, you
Yeah.
either had a really nice Halloween and you could go in your whatever costume you were, or you were like, I'm a ninja but with a parka on. Like,
Bro, I think
I'm a ninja, but with an Adidas hoodie.
yeah,
I think
So
that
Naruto.
I think that one of my favorite parts about Halloween, or at least how Halloween used to be for us, is how it brought neighborhoods together. And I don't know if it's just that I haven't experienced Halloween in this house yet, but experiencing Halloween anymore, like at my parents' house, they don't get very many trick-or-treaters.
yeah.
And I don't know if it's because it might be because they're in like an older neighborhood, or I don't know, something. But it just kind of makes me sad because I'm like, I remember the days
Yeah.
when I was trick-or-treating and how many kids were out, and like how friendly people were when you like
Yeah.
rang their doorbell and like giving candy. It's just so much fun.
I remember my parents' place before they had moved a couple years ago. I think they got 2 trick or treaters one
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
and we lived at a dead end street, so we didn't get a ton. But I mean, when I was a kid, everyone went.
Yeah.
My parents' new neighborhood, though, they do a lot,
Oh,
which,
dude.
which is really refreshing to
Yeah.
see. Like
I've-
there's a guy that rents a donut truck, like
Oh,
a food
that's
truck,
cool.
and he just hands
Bro,
out donuts
what
to
is
kids.
what?
Yeah.
What?
They
People going
live in
all
My
a,
out.
neighborhoods were so
they live
lame.
in a fancy rich neighborhood now. So
See, I kind of have the opposite experience, and I think it's because of the pumpkins that we do. It draws people into it, like out of word of mouth. It's spread a little bit. We've had more trick or treaters in the last few years than I think we've ever had.
Interesting.
nice.
And I think part of that is people want to come see the pumpkins, and they want to come see and then realize that we have candy, and so like,
Hey,
the
we heard
word
Jaden
spreads,
was
so.
over here.
Yeah, dude.
Can
My-
we see his pumpkin?
I have a feeling that this neighborhood's going to be a little bit better because there
Yeah.
does seem to be a lot more kids in this neighborhood.
Younger
which is-
families.
Well, I
which
feel
is
like
nice.
I feel like this year might be a hard year to
But yeah, that's also
judge
true.
it off of. So you might see a better
We're gonna
better one.
We figured we'd keep candy.
Yeah.
I mean, and if a kid knocks at our door, we're
Just throw it at him.
just chuck
Dude,
it.
your
I don't
bedroom that overlooks the street, they just like wave at you. They're like, hey,
No, what I've heard of people doing, like I got people with kids at work and stuff, and they're saying like they built big PVC pipes,
Yeah.
so they're down from their porch or something.
and
they
they
drop
just send
candy
it
in it
through?
to the
That's
kids.
cool.
It's like,
That's
what do you
really cool.
want?
That's awesome.
Fun idea.
Let's move on to our next
Yes.
one, Steve.
Yes, sir.
I'm really excited about your topic, so let's get into it.
yes, sir. But first, we're gonna do a commercial. So, my topic, we're going to get away from Halloween a little bit because we're getting spooky. I want to know if you have had a real life paranormal or ghost experience. Who wants to go first?
I can go first. So I've had a couple.
Damn. Okay.
Same.
In let's see, I had I was probably like 22, and I was sleeping in my bed, and I don't know if you would quite call it like paranormal or anything,
Yeah.
but sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
That shit's scary, dude.
It's never happened to me. But
It's
from
weird.
What I hear, it Sounds gnarly.
It's
Yeah.
really weird because you don't feel like you wake up. It just feels like you're going from a dream just to reality,
Yeah.
but you have no control. It just feels like you're being pressed on. Which I don't know really, again, how much of a ghost story or whatever that is, but it freaked me out.
Yeah.
And I sat there for like a minute. I'm like, am I dead? It was uncomfortable.
It's
Nice.
like a ghost doing CPR on you. Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
So I have a few, but and
I
they all.
didn't say my other one.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought I just kind of jumped over you. Go for
No.
it, dude.
He's like, I have multiple ghost stories. Tells one. All right, my turn.
No,
Not impressive.
there were several that I saw. I lived in Uganda for 2 years. And again, probably not really much of a ghost story, more of a voodoo thing. Because like tribal stuff, really freaky. But one in particular was really, really bad. Our bishop over the church there, he asked, he's like, hey guys, can you go check on so-and-so? They gave me a call this morning and they sounded really weird. So we're like, yeah, sure, we can go see him. So we go and grab another one of the guys and we go and knock on their door. And there you don't really wait for them to come to the door. You just kind of poke your head in.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lady just standing in the corner over there. And she's just like shaking. And we're like,
Cool.
oh no. We're like, hey, you okay? Because she was single. She lived by herself. Her husband had died, I think. And that was really freaky. And we're like, hey, we'll be right back. So we went and grabbed a couple other people. We didn't want to have just a couple of us there. And we go again and poke our heads in, and she's on the ground, like curled up in another corner. And we're like, oh no, dude. And basically we ended up visiting her later again in the evening. And I guess she went to go see a witch doctor the night before. And because she was sick or something, she had like an infected wound on her foot. And he told her to do all sorts of weird stuff. Like he told her to have a menstruating woman pee on it. Told her to eat frog legs. And like, it was really, really weird. And she did it. And that didn't turn out too well for her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is their foot okay?
Probably not, but that was really creepy.
Interesting.
And it was a lot of weird things like that you would run into every once in a while.
yeah.
And I don't know if it was just some sort of craze hit people or because they had a lot of ghost stories that they would tell each other,
Yeah.
a lot of myths and legends and stuff. I don't know if they really bought into all that very much or something was going on.
Right on.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Nice.
Crazy.
Okay, now I'm gonna go.
Now, Zach.
I'm sorry, Jaden. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wholeheartedly believe in ghosts. I have my stories that I have seen, and most of my events happened in the same place. My first like real job was working downtown at the Lion House. I was a server. I also did setup with the Lion House.
Oh yeah, of course you have a ton of
yeah.
Okay.
Very
So-
old building.
Very old building in downtown Salt Lake, if you guys don't know. It's where Brigham Young and his many wives lived. And so part of my job was to set up rooms for the next day events and stuff. So I oftentimes would leave the Lion House at 2, 3 a.m. and never a fun time in those creepy, nights that you can hear everything. Like, so one night I'm walking up on the top floor, and on one side of the wall, there's a big picture of just an old, I think it might have been Brigham Young. I don't remember if it was him or not. And then across the hall, there was a massive mirror. So I'm just walking down, turning all the lights off, and I look in the mirror and I see a dude. And I'm like, oh, hey there. And then I was like, oh, it's just the picture. And then I walked back and looked in the mirror again, and you can't see the picture from where I was standing. So there was a dude in the mirror just hanging out, and that was fun. That made me a little uncomfortable. So I, hurried and turned off the lights and ran, basically. I was like, I'm out. I'm done.
You saw a dude in the mirror and you didn't. Your instinct wasn't to go, oh shoot, like turn and look.
Well, like I looked, but like I just assumed it was the picture, so I kind of just it was whatever.
Well, I mean, if you look, you die.
Oh, okay.
And so
It's not a basilisk.
that one freaked me out a bit. Another one there in the children's room. Still to
That's
this day.
already creepy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I can still hear the laughing. Yeah.
Nope. I'm good.
Like I'm sitting down and that's on the main floor. I was on the main floor and I could hear laughing and like rattling and running and stuff. And I was told by one of the other setup people who had been there a lot longer than I had, if you told them that Brigham was going to come get them, they would stop.
Nope.
So I said, kids, your dad's going to come get you. You better stop. And it stopped immediately.
Huh.
And I was like, I don't like this. I need to leave. So that another one. And then last one from this specific job. There's a room called the parlor room. And in one of the cabinets is very old antique flatware, dishware and stuff like that. That cabinet is extremely difficult to open. Like it takes like a lot of force to like get it open and to even get access to those things. So we're setting up that room and put all of our current dishes on the table and walk out of the room and walk in and the door's open to the cabinet. And I'm like, that shouldn't happen. So we closed it and walked out again and walked back in and the door's open again. And I'm like, okay, someone's playing a prank on me. Like it's got to be church security or something like that. I did a sweep of the whole house. No one was there. Closed the door again, went on to my other room, went back and the door's open. And I'm like, stop. And I was told later on that like the wives wanted their flatware on the tables because they were entertaining. And so you just had to tell them, hey, we need to not use that because it's special. And it stopped. So
You just had to be stern with them.
no, really, you did. You just had to say like, this is what we're doing and we appreciate it. And like all the ghosts were like nice ghosts. Like they weren't there to like harm you. It was their house. And yeah, super creepy. And then one more that wasn't.
You're like, Susan, your dishes are out of style. Stop.
One more that wasn't paranormal.
What if you like broke one?
Dude,
Like what?
I would have been in so much trouble.
Hear a banshee scream.
Yeah, seriously.
So, last one that wasn't really paranormal, but it probably scared me more than anything else. So church security would roam around the campus and everything. And they would come in, make sure all the doors were locked. Well, they didn't realize one night that I was setting up. So I was upstairs, headphones in, just doing my thing. I went down to turn all the lights off. And there's a doorway that leads down into what used to be called the pantry. And there's a church security officer just standing in the dark in the doorway as I passed by. And I kid you not, I said, oh shit, and bolted. Like I ran so fast and he started running after me. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
I work here. What is happening? So I had to show him like my ID badge, but I was terrified, dude.
Yeah.
It scared me so bad. It was like 2 a.m.
Little punk ass Zach. Oh shit.
Oh man, it was
that a swear word? You're under arrest.
for real. And you guys don't hear me swear on this podcast often, but man, that terrified me. So those are my paranormal stories. So I wholeheartedly believe in ghosts,
Yeah.
and you can't convince me otherwise.
So funny, dude.
I'm going to go next because mine's a little more lame. It's not a ghost. Bigfoot, perhaps. So
nice.
when I was like 11 to 12, I used to work with my dad making or installing like custom cabinets. So what we would do is we would get there in the morning, install it in these people's houses. Usually they weren't there, or it was like an install or not an install. What's it called? Like a house when it's being built.
Construction?
Sure. So it was like a house under construction. So we were up in Park City, and it was such a big project that we had to stay overnight, and it had like done a blizzard that night. So probably 6 feet of snow on the ground, like a lot. So I remembered like I said, we had to stay the night. We stayed on the first floor, and it was like the dead of night, probably like 2 a.m. I wake up and I hear like knocking on the window. I'm like, okay, that's freaky. So I'm like, what is that?
That's a squatch.
So I kind of like me being like 12-ish and like I kind of just let it go. Or maybe I was so tired that I just like fell back asleep after a while.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's probably just the neighbors.
Yeah.
An earthquake happened. It's probably fine. I'm going to fall asleep.
It was stormy. So like, probably my reasoning was like, oh, it was just like a dog or cat or something brushing up against the window. So next day, we're installing cabinets in the bathroom that is the second floor above the window where we were staying. I look outside the window because I'm curious.
Oh, don't tell me there's footprints.
There are footprints.
Shit, dog.
Dude.
Swear to God, there were footprints. And
No shoes? Like feet, like pad toes?
No. So indentations
Okay.
in the snow.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. Remember what I had said. It was 6 feet of snow. I am on the second story of this house, and there are visible prints
Yeah.
in the snow.
Like big.
Like imagine like a size 10 foot in the snow. Anybody who has a bigger foot size, if you go jump in the snow, it's not that big.
Yeah.
Like from a distance, you might not even see your footprints.
Yeah.
From a second story of this Park City mansion, I could see visible large footprints outside that window where we were staying. What I had wanted to do is like go out and go see the footprints themselves. But I remember my dad like yelling at me because I would have had to literally like cut a way through the snow because it was 6 feet tall.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So I couldn't actually make it to the window to like get a photograph or like to get to the prints to actually see the size.
How
But,
convenient.
I mean,
Nah, man.
really, I
that's
should
crazy.
have.
That's the magic of the squatch, man. He cannot be photographed.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily a ghost story, but it was freaky.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Nice.
my 2 cents.
Well, I feel like I'm real boring. Like, I've had spooky experiences before, but most of the time it was like a bunch of friends. Hey, let's get together. Let's go to like Murray Park or like the golf course or something. And let's just like go into the dark and just try to freak each other out.
Mm.
And you would start seeing stuff. You'd start hearing things.
Yeah.
But if you get to your mind to a certain point, your mind will believe just about anything.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool, like, it was a lot of fun.
You just psych yourselves out.
You just get to a certain point where like you start seeing figures standing like out in the distance, or you start like hearing like people laughing and stuff. Like, but I don't believe that it was anything other than our imaginations. I will, just to not be so lame, borrow a story from a seminary teacher that I had, and I believe him. He's a very like, he's not one to like.
He's an honest man.
He's an honest man. He's an honest man. And he swears by this story. He was on a date. Have you guys heard this story?
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah. Ties into mine nicely.
He was on a date. They went hiking. It was kind of late, but they were like, whatever, we'll bring flashlights and a hatchet. Like, he was like, he brought a hatchet just in case they got lost or whatever, as a survival tool. I don't know.
Casey needs to chop.
In case he needs to get chopping / protection, you know?
Slap chop.
And
You're gonna love my nuts.
and they hiked up this trail just fine, no issues. And then by the time they were ready to start hiking back down to their car, it was getting pretty dark. So they turn on their flashlights, they're hiking down, no problem. He hears wrestling in the bushes, like next to him. And they're
Wrestling.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
WWE Raw.
Wrestling.
SmackDown versus Raw. So-
in
in the
this
bushes
corner,
over there?
Bigfoot. In this corner, a
John
man with a
Cena throws
hatchet.
himself up.
Oh man.
RKO.
Spotlight starts shooting out.
Oh man.
So wrestling in the bushes.
Yes, wrestling in the bushes. He turns to it and he's like their first response was like, "Oh shoot, it's a bear or something," and so they just booked it. Like they just ran, and they ran for a while, and they're like, "Okay, nothing's following us, we're good." So they stopped, slowed down, started walking again, and they heard rustling in the bushes again. And this time he like turned to it and like he was like, "Oh, I'll make a bunch of noise to like scare whatever this is off," and did that. Didn't hear anything. They continued. He heard it like one more time, and he was like, "Whoever you are, like stop messing with us. I'm armed and I'm not afraid to use it," kind of a thing.
Don't make me chop
Don't
ya.
make me chop.
I am armed and dangerous.
And he swears by this. He heard the wrestling go past him a bit, and then out from the bushes emerges like a Bigfoot-esque creature. And it was really tall, slender, hairy from head to toe, and it just kind of walked across the path while like eyeing them down, and then disappeared into the bushes on the other side.
My
Nice.
bad.
And
Jane just walked up.
Jane's
I
like,
was
"Oh,
there."
shit."
That was me.
And he swears by that story. So.
Nice. That's cool.
I remember doing a night hike once, and we ran into like a homeless dude, and he yelled at one of my friends.
Nice.
It wasn't Squatch or anything, but
Yeah.
it was funny.
While we're on the topic of Squatch, Steve's gonna put up a video of Jaden's Squatch Rock.
Do I have a video?
I don't think
Probably
we do.
not.
A video of him doing the Squatch
Again,
Rock.
it cannot be photographed.
It's on your Snapchat, I guarantee you.
It might be,
will have to look.
honestly. Yeah.
If
Steve's
I
got,
have it,
Steve's got dirt
go
on
down
all of
here.
us.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the one where he walks by the bathroom?
By the bathroom, yeah.
Gotcha.
That video's going up right here.
Troy, give us our next topic.
Okay,
man.
yeah. Okay, my topic is favorite costume. You're a kid. What was your like? What costume do you remember the most that you were
I
like
got one.
psyched up about?
I got a good one.
Okay.
I was, I think, third or fourth grade. It was a costume I borrowed from my cousins. Yeah, one of my cousins. It was a crocodile costume.
Nice.
So basically, it was like, the little jumpsuit that was like,
Yeah.
I think it was homemade too, actually, but it was like green and then like yellow on the belly.
Yeah.
And it had a big head that my head would
Nice.
sit in.
Yeah.
And then it had a big old tail.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. And then for our Halloween parade, right? I can't remember the girl. I thought she was super cute in third grade. Because my tail was so big and dragging on the floor, she offered to hold it for me.
Oh,
So she was by me the whole parade.
Nice.
That was sick. And then I remember actually, I was tired at the end of the day and I was still in the costume. I actually slept on top of the tail because it was so cushy.
Nice.
It
That's
was like a
awesome.
multi-use costume. It was really
That's
sick.
cool.
Picked up the ladies, was a nice bed, and it looked dope.
Nice.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Uh,
Replace the word tail with another word, and you got what was going through my mind the entire time.
I was in third
That's
grade.
it. Dude,
Depraved.
good for you, dude.
Depraved, dude.
She had to carry it for you.
Oof.
Jaden falls asleep. She's still attached to the tail. He's just awkwardly like him, tail, her.
man.
She's like,
Oh.
God help.
Ugh.
Gosh,
Yikes.
help my mind. Hey, Zach, go.
My favorite, I have two, and I mean, they're very simple, but one year I was a vampire. So I had like the
Nice.
white face, and then like we did my hair with the little like spike, and like,
yeah.
it was cool. I was like super young, and I was
I'd like
into
to
it.
drink my blood.
Nice. And then I had the fun little teeth too, like just the fake stuff, but you had to have them. And
They
then
were super uncomfortable
Oh,
and made your
awful.
gums bleed
Yep,
by the end of
terrible.
the night, but you were like, I love them.
yeah,
They didn't
Tasty
even look
snack.
good.
oh, they were terrible. And then my other one, I was a ninja, dude.
Nice.
Dude,
Ninjas were cool.
Okay.
Ninjas were so
hands up
dope.
if you dressed up as a ninja one year.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
ninjas
yeah.
were cool. All right, Troy, what's yours?
Oh, my favorite was for sure a ninja. Like
Heck yeah.
I remember that ninja costume, and
Were
Like,
you like black clothes or white
remember
clothes?
the black.
See, mine was white clothes
And
with
I
a black belt.
remember,
I thought I had a blue one.
Nice.
I remember I was so
got the
jazzed
whole
about
crew.
it that like my mom did like a photo shoot of me like doing all of these cool
Heck
like
yeah.
ninja poses.
Find these
with,
photos
these
for me.
ninja stars and stuff.
That's so good.
Wait, she actually took photos of you?
Yeah, they
You're a
have
terrible ninja.
they have to be around my house somewhere. But
You look
I
at the
was
photos, it's just logs.
so
No.
jazzed about it. But just to be different, I remember a Jedi costume that
Heck
I
yeah.
did. That was
Nice.
really dope. Yeah. I
Nice.
like idolized Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Star Wars Episode 1.
Who
Who
hasn't
didn't, right?
idolized him?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to be him.
Some people have him as Jesus in their house.
Yeah.
Oh man, Steve.
My favorite costume was the same year as the story I shared with that haunted house in the neighborhood. Me being poor, all I did was I dressed head to toe in black. I had a black hood on, or hoodie, with a zipper. And I went to the dollar store and bought glow sticks.
Nice.
And what I did was I taped the glow sticks around, so I made myself like a glow stick man.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's
And at the
dope.
time,
That's
I
so
was
clever.
inventive as because
Yeah,
like
dude.
nowadays people are doing it with like LED strips. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, well, I did that in 05.
That's
I
awesome.
thought you were going to
No.
say I dressed up in all black. I'm like, oh, so you were a menace.
Yeah, I was a cholo for Halloween, and then I dressed up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was pretty dope.
Nice. With the little bit of remaining time we've got, let's throw a couple more things out here. I just want to know if some of
it's
your
a special episode.
Yeah, we might go a little
We
bit
had a
longer.
little technical difficulties. We had that weird dance break that Steve is going to
Yeah.
definitely cut out. So
They're gonna
let's
miss
keep
that,
going.
what are your favorite Halloween movies? I just want to know.
I'll go straight up because I already said one of mine, which
Yeah.
is Young Frankenstein, a tradition of mine and my dad's. But close second is, and we just watched it the other day, Clue.
Nice.
Clue is a classic, and
Great
I
one.
do go more for like the comedy esque
Yeah.
Halloween
Yeah.
movies, you know. But yeah, those are probably my top two favorite Halloween movies.
Nice.
I go
yeah.
more for just, I wouldn't really say funny or really horror or niche or anything.
Mhm.
But, and not even very Halloween based, but I really love The Shining. That's one of my favorite movies, period. And another great one is Disturbia.
Disturbia is good.
It's just a good movie.
Yeah.
And it's just creepy enough and scary and thrilling enough. Like, I don't know.
Nice.
Like I said,
Shia
not
LaBeouf
very
is, like,
Halloween
best.
themed, but good movies.
Shia LaBeouf is best. Too.
Shia LaBeouf is best.
He is best, but at his best.
Are you ignoring holes?
That was like, I guess he was
Shia LaBeouf
pretty younger.
is
That was
best.
his peak.
Yeah, that's true.
Holes is great. A couple of my favorites. I love, and I watched it for the first time like really not that long ago. It would have been maybe 3-4 years ago, but Nightmare Before Christmas. And I just think it's great. It's just such a fun one. If you haven't seen it, give it some time and watch it. If you like the musical style of things, like it plays like a musical. That one's a lot of fun. And then like, I don't know, just like dumb things. Like a couple years back, we watched Little Evil on Netflix, and it's so stupid, but it's so funny. Same thing with The Babysitter, and I think they just released a second one, so I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
watch that one. And I don't know if these are like my favorite movies, but I don't love like horror in general, so I like the spoof horror things, so like
Yeah.
Scary Movie and stuff like that. Like,
Oh my gosh, scary movie.
but
Movies.
and then
Yes.
you have to give a shout out to Hocus Pocus.
No,
Nah,
That was,
I'm a
that was one of
non-believer.
mine.
I don't think the movie was that good.
Honestly, I haven't seen it.
that's fair.
Yeah, that's one of mine. So,
Steve, go
oh,
for
you're
it.
done. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Hocus Pocus. It's your holiday go-to. Like if I think about a Halloween movie, it's Hocus Pocus, and
Yeah.
we probably watch it every year because we were poor and we were watching it on like ABC Family,
No.
and also because of that, Harry Potter is a Halloween movie.
Yes.
Harry Potter was like Halloween and Christmas at the same time.
Yeah.
We have to
They
start.
they fit very well with
Yeah.
both.
we
but-
have
but
to
strictly-
start our Harry Potter watch through like
We do.
this, like for Halloween,
Yeah.
dude.
but strictly Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, because I don't think Chamber of Secrets extends into that. I feel like just the first one feels very. You get the trolls, you get the pumpkins.
Third
No,
one
the
is
most
very
Halloween one.
Halloween-y,
I
too.
feel like Prisoner of
third.
Azkaban. Yeah, that's
I
like
guess
the
so,
best.
Yeah.
Third one is by far the most Halloween-y.
There's
'Cause you've got
literally
the
like
werewolves.
pumpkins and
I feel like you get that in
werewolves
the
and
first
stuff.
one.
That's where they like celebrate the fall stuff.
Okay.
The first one literally takes place like at Christmas.
Remember
It's
that
a
scene-
school year,
remember that
dog. It
scene?
starts in September and goes until June.
I mean, like the main story is at Christmas, is it not? And then like they finish the year.
Kind
But
of,
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know.
I mean, don't you remember like Hermione out there punching Draco and there's like leaves
Yeah.
outside?
My second shout out goes to Sleepy Hollow.
Oh yeah.
That is a classic in my mind.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot one. Can I throw one more?
Is
Sure,
it Charlie
sure.
Brown and the Great Pumpkin?
No, but that's a great one.
Because that is a good one.
No, it's The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
No.
Yeah, the less good Sleepy Hollow.
The better one, clearly. It's narrated by Bing Crosby. Are you kidding me? It's great.
Second
fight
place.
All right.
Wait,
You guys suck.
Jaden's got to say his, right?
No,
No, I
Jaden
already
did
gave
both
what
of
I
his.
had.
Oh, that's right. You gave like the suspense ones.
Yeah. So I think it's just me.
Yeah.
Have you ever pulled a Halloween trick? If so, what did you do?
Yeah.
Expose yourself. Oh, don't
Please don't.
expose
We're on
yourself.
camera.
We're on camera. Did you wait? Okay. Side note: did you guys hear about that Zoom gate or whatever?
No.
There was like a CNN like guy, or maybe not CNN, but one of the
Okay.
one of the news network shows where a guy exposed himself on a Zoom call, and
Great.
that broke today, and they're calling it Zoomgate.
Like on
Zoom
purpose
cheat.
or
I mean, apparently he was, masturbating. So I mean,
Live television. That's a dick.
he said that he thought that the camera was off, so it very well could be that he was just doing it and didn't know that the camera was on, or it was on purpose. But either way, who like during a meeting, dude? Like, come on, I can wait.
Work from home has presented some interesting solutions.
For real, yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Talk about work-life balance.
Yikes.
Pranks. I toilet papered my fair share of
Nice.
houses. I egged once, and I regret that. Egging is not cool.
Yeah, it's a bit messed up, dude.
But, I did lots of stuff with I remember we would fork people's lawns too. That one's messed up. It's where you stick a bunch of plastic forks in their lawn.
Oh no!
And then when they're pulling them out, they
Wow.
always break off. So they have a bunch of
Yeah.
plastic bits in their lawn.
You want to know what's worse than forking a lawn, though, is putting frozen hot dogs in a lawn.
How about burning the house down?
that's
Yeah.
that
That
Pretty
one's
bad.
definitely worse.
Probably the most fun Halloween prank that I pulled when I was a teenager. We just called it bagging because, we didn't have names for anything. But you get those big black garbage bags and you just get inside of them and sit on people's lawns. And then someone would go ring the doorbell. They would come out with candy and there's just a bunch of bags on their lawn. They're like,
what the hell?
what is this? And then they would come and inspect them. They'd kick you or something. And then you'd pop out and then run off with all your friends. It wasn't very creative or great, but it was really fun.
I hope kids
That's
do that
fine.
when I'm
Yeah.
when I have a house. I hope some random kids just bag me.
And
It's
I
so
remember
funny.
we did it at one house that their front lawn was on a hill.
Mhm.
And the person came out and started kicking the bags. And one of my friends started rolling down the hill
Oh
because
my
he got
God.
kicked.
Funny.
It was so good.
That's
That's
awesome.
great.
That's awesome. I'm kind of lame, and I never really pulled any Halloween tricks. I did April Fool's stuff, but Halloween for me was just about the candy, dude. Candy and pumpkins. So
Steve.
Various murders and
Oh, okay,
Molly's.
cool.
I
Yeah, you
can't
remember
talk
that
about this
Squatch?
on air.
it was
I've
actually a
killed-
dude.
I've
His
killed
name was Jeff.
countless people.
Had a family.
But no tricks that I can mention.
Okay. Well,
I mean, you kind
alright.
of had one where you were throwing candy around that haunted.
Yeah, that kind of
So,
counts.
so
That's
When-
called being a douchey teenager.
That's what tricks are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's so when my mom had a rule that was when you reach the age of 12 or 13, it was you're done trick or treating. So
Yeah.
then for Halloween, you had to entertain yourself in other ways, which was mostly tricking.
Mhm.
And so you know, there was always the like toilet paper people's houses. Mostly it was people that we knew. I didn't do it to people that I didn't know. There was also like on cold Halloween nights where it was going to get below freezing, dipping toilet paper in water and then chucking it at cars and making the toilet paper splatter and then freeze to the car.
It sucks.
It's so funny.
That's so messed up.
Yeah.
I would be
Again,
so
only
pissed,
did it to people that I knew. But I think that my favorite one was instead, since I couldn't go out trick-or-treating, I was like, okay, so I'm going to be at home, handing candy out. I should make this fun.
So you
So
put
what
razor
I
blades in
did is
candy.
yes.
I laced it with drugs.
So what I did is I dressed up like a scarecrow,
Nice.
and then I sat on my parents' porch with a bowl of candy, and I just like pretended to be lifeless. And then the second that kids like went to grab the candy, I would like jump out and scare
Who
the
hurt you,
crap
man?
Yeah,
out
so
of
you're
them.
That
Satan.
sucks.
Dude, it was
You're a
so
monster.
I
funny.
hated that stuff. As
So
a kid.
messed up, dude. I hated
It
that
was
too.
so funny. My favorite, like the ones that knew that there was something off and stuff, and they would like slowly creep up, and like sometimes I would let them grab the candy, and then I would put the bowl down, and like just as they think they're safe, I would like stand up and start chasing.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Oh, it was so
that
funny.
reminds me. I actually have something similar we did. Shout out to Connor. When we were old enough, we would stop trick or treating. I remember because his neighborhood was one of those really lively ones. A lot of people
Yeah.
trick or treat there. We hung out on his roof with it was like a mannequin or something. We made a body.
Oh,
And when kids would go to the door, you know, they get their candy and they turn around and we'd throw this body off the roof and it was hanging by a noose.
What?
And it was sitting there just hanging in front of
You caused psychological damage to like 8-year-olds. What the heck, man?
Connor will remember that one.
Good job,
That was
dude.
so funny, dude.
That's awesome.
And on that same street, you had the same guys that would do like the chainsaws and stuff. Like
Man.
that street was probably trauma central for kids.
Yeah, what the heck? I
There's
hate
like an
that.
age warning on the stop
why
sign.
was your neighborhood so lit?
I don't know.
That
they were
was
cool
so
people.
boring in comparison. Oh man. Well,
Nice.
I think that does it, right?
Yeah.
That's
it.
I mean, do you guys have any other like
Yeah.
I don't know movie shout outs that might not be your favorites that are kind of fun to watch or not?
Give us suggestions for pumpkins to carve this
Oh
year.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes, sir.
I know the Mandalorian is gonna be a hot one this year.
Perhaps we will do a spit jar pumpkin this year.
we could attempt it.
Dude,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It wouldn't be too bad. I could do the
No, that'd be
logo on
easy.
there. Yeah, I'm just
be
kind of
dope.
looking at our logo right now, and I think that'd be fairly easy to transfer. So, yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe we'll do that. I know I'm gonna do a Baby Yoda for sure. I have a list going that I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for this. But if you guys want to see something like specific, send it our way. I will try my best to make it happen. So
we're gonna do a spit jar topic.
Oh, yes,
but
we are.
Before we
Let's-
do,
do you guys like our spooky jar?
our spooky
It's
jar.
It's right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it real quick.
He's vomiting paper.
Before you read that off, though, Zach, I just wanted to say a couple housekeeping things. Spread the word about us. It's
Please.
the only way we have to grow. We don't pay any money for marketing or anything because we don't have any money to spend.
Facts.
And if you're listening to this, not watching,
yeah,
go check out our episode if you want to see our ugly mugs.
yeah.
yeah,
We're on YouTube.
yep.
It's not going to be the same day. Just saying.
Yeah.
So
This will be up a little bit later, but that's okay.
Word of mouth is huge, though. So spread the word.
Nice. Follow us on social media at the Spit Jar. We'll make sure that the YouTube link is in our link tree. That's on Instagram and Twitter pinned. And I think it should be on Facebook as well, but I'll make sure if it's not, I'll make sure it's there.
We're coming up on episode 20, so we're gonna want to
Yeah.
do another one of those episode 10 special things where
Yep.
we play your guys' audio topics.
Yeah. Watch out for it. Brainstorm some stuff for us.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
No, it's fun for the interaction with us. Like it gives us a reason to kind of get together and really do stuff. But my brother John, when I was gone, he was like, I found myself missing like, what would they say? Like when Troy and I have both been absent, that like he was thinking like, okay, what would Troy say or what would Zach say? with this specific thing. And so I think it's a lot of fun to kind of get that interaction and get that feedback. So if you guys have feedback for us, let us know. We haven't asked you in a while, but if you have a complaint, go ahead and give us a complaint on our complaint link.
If you haven't looked at that yet, please just go click the link.
We've been trying to bait you for so long.
On
just
our website.
Go to the website, submit a complaint, and thank us later.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our spit jar topic. And it is Halloween themed, scary costume, or funny costume. Troy?
Always go for the funny.
Steve?
Probably funny.
Jade?
Total gag, meme, stupid, funny.
Funny as well.
Yeah, we're boring.
So yeah, we're working.
I thought that Steve
Scary's
was gonna be
too
the
much
one that's
effort.
Like, I like
Scary's a
scary.
lot of effort. I mean, have you seen what some of the people do like for their scary costumes? It's wild.
I'm already funny to look at, so it's
Yeah, but we're missing the most important type of costume, and that's sexy.
Sexy
Halloween
yes.
costumes.
I think we can all unite over sexy.
I'm not sexy enough for sexy, so I'm still going. I'm still going funny.
Sexy college student. Sexy maid. Mexi sexy. Troy, what are you gonna be?
Sexy baby.
Sexy.
No, I'm just kidding.
what?
Sexy baby?
Troy, you're messed up, dude.
I'm just kidding. I was just going for like the diaper thing. I don't know.
Explicit content. Thank you, Troy.
Demonetized on YouTube now. Thanks, Troy. Oh man. Well, I think that's it. We love you guys. If you like this format, if you want to see more video, I know it's a lot more work for Steve, but we might keep doing it. We'll see. But if you like it, let us know. Like, comment, subscribe. I guess we can say subscribe now because, like,
Oh yeah,
the YouTube.
subscribe. Yeah.
Ring that notification bell. I don't know. What else do YouTubers say?
Smash that like button.
Oh God.
Crush that bell.
All right, guys. We love you. We'll see you later.
Happy Halloween.